This is insane. 300,000 people have just subscribed within the past hour to Third Phase of the Moon. It's been a wild ride now. 300,000 people are aware of Third Phase. We got to get the word out. People need to subscribe to Third Phase. They hear the stories. People share their stories. I've spoken to tens of thousands of people over the past few years, about 5 years now in Third Phase, and man, people out there know that we're not alone. And I've heard the testimony. We've all heard it. We've seen the evidence, and we know there is a phenomenon going on right now, and that's what Third Phase of the Moon is trying to find out. Get the answers. Get it out to the public, because the public knows what's happening. The government knows, but they're not telling us. The governments from all around the world, they have insight, but they're keeping it a secret. But the people know better. They have just as much information as what the highest top clearance person in the world knows. They're out there, the public, and that's what we're taking calls from around the world. People like you that have the insight, who've worked in secret government installations like Area 51. We've been in there. We've heard what it's like. People, you need to come out, share your stories, share the information. The world needs to wake up. All right. It's going to be an incredible show today. We got a lot of callers calling in, so we're going to try and get to everybody. The number to call in is 347-934-0378. This is Third Phase Moon Radio Live. Let's get to it. Area code 801. Welcome to the show. Where are you calling from? What's your name?
My name's Nathan from Utah.
Hey, Nathan. How's it going?
Hey, really good. I just wanted to report for you something kind of interesting that happened about a week ago. I'm not too far away from Dugway Proving Ground, and we had a winter storm, but the flight pattern that where our airlines go through the Salt Lake International Airport, they have a consistent flight pattern. So you can hear some engine noise from most of the jets, but one particular night, I heard this loudest, like, jet rumble, like if it was, like, over your head, but continuously, but I don't know, maybe, like, if it was a mile and a half away. So it wasn't, like, ear-piercing, but it was really strong. And so I asked my buddy that I work with that lives about 15 minutes away, I'm like, go outside tonight and hear if you're hearing what I'm hearing, because I hear this loud rumble in the sky, and I think it might be one of their new secret jets that they have that's, I don't know, above Mach 20, I would think. I don't know. It's pretty interesting. So I didn't know if anybody had reported that in my area on your show.
Wow, that's kind of interesting. Mach 20, that's pretty fast. Was there like a double sonic boom, like boom, boom, or was it just one big
No,
rumble?
it wasn't a big sonic boom. It was just like a continuous, almost like if you're at the, space launch, but way far away, you could just hear it rumbling forever, and that's how it would go, and it would go in successions, like it would go for, I don't know, maybe 35 seconds to a minute long, just rumbling, and then it would go away, and then it would come back. It was just way crazy. But you couldn't see anything in the sky.
I've received reports just last week, as you say, on the East Coast of basically the same sounds that you've heard. So I think this is, whatever this phenomenon was, new secret military aircraft. It sounds logical, but
yeah, it's possible.
I could understand why they need to keep this stuff a secret, right? They need to have that war machine.
Well, it definitely wasn't extraterrestrial, because I know that, and I've called in on your show and told you about some of my stories. But this was more man-made,
just weird
fuel or some kind of different propulsion system, but it would sound like a jet engine. It was weird though.
Yeah, I'd imagine that's when you hear a continuous rumble, you don't know if maybe an earthquake's coming towards you, because you hear that sound before you start to rock and roll, because the earth the rocks start to crack, and then you hear that sound, and then you start to feel it. So yeah, I can imagine that was kind of an interesting experience, Nathan, over there in Utah.
Oh yeah. Well, my friend and I are actually going to head out to the desert and do some calling ins and stuff and having some experiences. So we're going to take some footage of that because we actually have contacts tool that, of course, Dr. Stephen Greer has, and that it's actually a successful application that works if you know how to use it properly through consciousness, and it really does happen. So we'll take some videos of that and present it on your show.
Absolutely, Nathan. We're standing by. That's the best. We love UFO video evidence. Nathan, on the hunt tonight, you good luck over there in Utah, Nathan. Thanks for calling in.
My one last question for you that we had on last show's conversation was the ability to invite them. It's an invitation, not an abduction. And I think you might remember that from last week's show. So maybe share that message with the people too.
For sure. I think it's a special invitation. And it's not an abduction. When you encounter an alien being, you're taken aboard the ship. You're invited aboard the ship. That's the way I take that experience. It's a positive
and that's
experience.
why everybody on this show that is interested in extraterrestrials have it already invited that into their lives at an early stage, and it's just a natural occurrence because we're part of them and part
Absolutely.
of this whole life and existence.
Yeah. That's right. We'll try and stay on that key tonight. And thank you, Nathan from Utah, because I believe that alien contact is positive. Some people say, "Oh, you better watch out. You're calling demons. This is a demonic entity." Sorry to say that this is an alien. It's demonic. Well, I have a different opinion on that. But I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's my opinion, and that's what Third Phase of Moon's all about. People's opinions and freedom of speech. Let the public decide. Let's go to area code 765. Welcome to Third Phase. 765. All right, we'll move along to area code 360. 360, you there?
Yeah, you hear me?
I got you loud and clear. What's your name?
Chris. What's up, Blake?
Hey, Chris, welcome to the show.
Thanks. So my story, this is probably, about 4 years ago on 4th of July.
Where?
I was sitting out here in Carson, Washington, actually.
Okay.
It's a small little town. I was just, sitting outside enjoying the fireworks. I couldn't really see them too much because we kind of live in a, wooded area, but I was just out there listening, and, I could kind of see a little bit, but anyways, long story short, all of a sudden I see this bright amber colored orb that just kind of came out of nowhere above these trees, this forest area, kind of to my left where I was standing. And all of a sudden it just kind of would disappear and reappear in different areas. And I just thought, whoa, this is definitely not like your typical aircraft. And I just kind of observed it for a while, and then it just kind of eventually moved along, and I didn't see it anymore. And I just thought, wow, that was amazing. And so I went out the next night, not expecting to see anything at all, but just curious to see if it would happen again. So I went out on the upstairs porch again and sitting out there, and within seconds, here it comes again, same exact one. And just kind of doing the same thing and moving around. And I just thought, wow, this is like so cool. Like I've heard so many stories about stuff like this, and now I'm actually seeing it for myself. And it did basically the same thing. It kind of bounced around, and I didn't hear any sound coming from it. And so it just kind of eventually. What's that?
No, it wasn't a drone, obviously, no sound. Was it?
It was like kind of like an amber color. And, like in the story of Ezekiel in the Bible, the way he described that color, that amber color, that's what it really reminded me of. And I just thought, wow, that's crazy. I mean, like, obviously there has been other people that have seen the same type of possible ship, even a long time ago. And, so it kind of faded away, and I just thought, okay, this is really cool. I got to get my brother over here. So I called him, told him about the next day, and he came over that next night, the third night. And so, we didn't see anything right away, and we're both sitting out there, and it was the craziest thing because we both just for some reason, felt it, and we looked straight up above us, and here it was. It was right up above our house. And it just slowly creeped over our house, moving around, you know, like real slow. And then it just kind of went out in front of us. And, you know, it didn't really disappear, reappear this time. It was like, it was watching us. Like, you just feel it. And, you know, eventually, after maybe 5-10 minutes, it kind of just drifted over the tall trees in the forest, and you couldn't see it anymore. So the crazy thing is, though, it was the very last night, the fourth night. I go out by myself. Yeah, the fourth night was crazy. I am sitting out there. All of a sudden, here it comes again. I couldn't believe it. And it's kind of going over, because I live like in Southwest Washington, so I'm real close to Oregon, and I can actually see the Oregon mountains from our upstairs deck. And so, you know, here it comes, flying real slow, creeping along. And then it wasn't maybe 10-15 minutes later, here comes a military fighter jet. And I'm pretty sure it was an F-16 fighting Falcon, because I could see the single engine, and I could see the undercarriage, and just you could see the lights. It was all loaded, had missiles, and you could see the fuel tanks and everything. Yeah, and this fighter jet started chasing it. What's that?
It's an intercept. It's chasing a fighter.
Oh, yeah, totally. And so this UFO, it started moving along, you know, a little bit quicker, because obviously it saw it, and it started taking off. And the crazy thing was, this UFO, it just started changing colors from this bright golden amber color that I've seen for the last 4 days. It just went into a deep, deep purple, and then almost like a blue, and then it just changed back to bright white and had all these sparkle, like, I don't know, I describe it kind of like these like sparkles, almost like kind of like a firework, I guess, a little bit, but it was all around the ship. And all of a sudden it just vanished, gone, disappeared right in thin air. The military jet just kept going in the same direction, and it was just gone. Like, it didn't have anything to follow. I couldn't believe it. And so I tried going out one more night, and nothing. It never came back again. But I just thought, wow, that was insane.
Wow, and very lucky, once in a time opportunity there in its own sense. I'm just thinking about how to title this, and I'm thinking Falcon jet chases UFO over the U.S. Would that be a proper statement, Chris?
Oh, I think so. It sounds good. Yep. Definitely. But, you know, what was so strange about this is what I was telling some friends about it, you know, through texting and stuff like that. And, you know, I totally believe the government, you know, listens to everybody on our smartphones and tracks everything for sure. And, you know, the weird thing was, this is like maybe like a few days later, maybe a week later. It's hard to remember, this was a while back, but it wasn't much longer after. I'm upstairs in my bedroom, and obviously it was the summertime, so it was warm, and I had my window open, and I was just sitting in my chair playing Xbox or something like that, and all of a sudden I hear this helicopter, and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and just loud, like really low, and I'm thinking, what the hell is going on? And this helicopter flew basically around our house, flew around to where my bedroom window is, and this was like some military Black Hawk, is what I was pretty sure it was, and it just sat there, and they were staring at me through my window upstairs, and I just felt like, wow, like pretty intimidated. And they hovered there for maybe 30 seconds, and then they left.
Well,
I thought that was pretty strange.
There's an intimidation factor. I've received many phone calls of people that have had their sightings, and then immediately the day or so later, Black Hawks just swarming over their home.
I've heard people say stories like that on your show. I just thought, wow, it gave me chills when I've heard people say that, because I experienced it as well.
I'm wondering if that's the protocol now. Intimidate after a UFO eyewitness. Is this operate? Just, you know, I don't understand that. I wish there would be more answers. And who are these people, and what are their instructions flying these Black Hawks? Oh, go intimidate this person that saw a UFO and intimidate them. I wonder what they think about that. Because
what's the point?
What's the point? And these guys are American citizens. These people that are flying these Black Hawks should explain to us. And we might get information from one of these pilots one of these days, and we'll find out what the protocol is. I think that would be great. And
I agree.
Why? Chris,
definitely.
You brought up a big question tonight, and we're gonna share your story. And the Falcon jet chases UFO over. Where was this exactly, Chris?
This is in Carson, Washington. I'm in Southwest Washington.
Yeah, got it. Okay, I got that down, and I'll put that in the notes because I got a feeling we're gonna. And I don't think it's going to be a one-time life experience for you. I got a feeling you're going to be seeing more things. So have your camera ready, okay, Chris, over there in Carson?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what, I'll call in another time so you can get the other callers and stuff, but I've got numerous stories of other UFO sightings.
Well, you definitely call in Third Phase Moon Fridays, or we might be calling you. We're doing that now. And we have
cool.
your number. So we've been reaching out to the public, cold calling. It's quite amazing. Chris, appreciate it. Keep your eyes on the skies, man. Stay safe.
Thanks, Blake. Take it easy.
Yep, will do. Thanks, Chris. Wow, that's kind of interesting, people. And there's a correlation going on in why this intimidation factor after witnessing a UFO. We've heard it so many times now. Also, we're trying to give it a shout-out to F1. We haven't seen F1 for a while. He's kind of dropped off the grid, and that's kind of concerning me. I'm going to get in. We're going to try and find out what happened to F1 real quick, and we'll get callers. Yeah, we got Betsy here. Betsy, you've been trying to get. Where's F1? Any idea?
Dude, I talk to him normally every day, and I have not seen him in 2 weeks. He's not returned my phone calls, my texts, anything. I'm worried about him. Whatever her name is. She's been really sick. I can't think of her name now.
Chalice.
Chalice. I've been talking to her. She's been really sick.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Very concerning.
I don't know what's going on with either of them.
I haven't heard from F1. I haven't heard from Chalice. And we're reaching out to them right now, Third Phase, and just call us tonight. Just make us feel better that we know you guys are safe. You guys don't have to tune into Third Phase Moon every Friday, F1 and Chalice, but it's kind of weird that you guys dropped out on that. So
F1 I have not heard from, and I'm kind of worried because I talk to him almost every day. Every day.
And so, I know that he's spoken highly of you, and there would be no reason why he would cut off communications. And it's weird because this intimidation factor is weird when people are sharing the truth, and then even F1 was being tracked by Black Hawk helicopters. He left one house, thought he could get away, and then they found him again and flew over his house with more Apache Black helicopters. So it's a weird deal. Keep reaching out.
Thanks, dude. I'll keep calling him.
Keep on him, Betsy. Wow. I appreciate Betsy. She really collaborates with a lot of the callers into Third Phase, and there's a whole community of family out there that feel that they could talk, and they meet each other for the first time on Third Phase Moon, and that's what's amazing, making people come together around the world. Okay, here we go. We're going to get to one more call, and then we're going to go to break, and then we're going to get to a lot more callers. Wild ride tonight, people. 505, you're live, Third Phase Moon.
Hey, Blake, it's Doug in Albuquerque. How are you?
Doug?
Yes.
Hey, Doug, right on. Hey, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. It's fantastic. Hey, Chris's information was really cool. It's kind of like there's so much of this stuff going on that people they may or may not be aware of, but I'm so thankful, Blake, that you and your brother and everybody has come together and put this show together.
Brennan and I
for people to share.
Yes, that's all it's about. It's an open line for sharing for this phenomenon.
Right.
And there's no other place like it in the world. Yep.
Right. So listen to what I have to say. I've got a lot of I've been very interested in the whole UFO thing and how it relates to everything, including how Christians may view it and how non-believers may view it. And
Sure.
the thing of it is, I saw 7 UFOs one morning. Okay, and it didn't shock me. It was kind of like, oh wow, UFOs, unidentifiable things sitting in the air. I was in Albuquerque, and they came over the mountains. First 3 came over and stopped right over the crest of the mountain in a little triangle, and then 2 more, and then a couple minutes later 2 more, and then at one point they all just faded away. But what it did, Blake, is it caused me to start asking everybody I meet, have you ever seen a UFO, or anything you can say is unidentifiable. And I'm not kidding you, about 20 to 25% of everybody I talk to have seen something, and I write their stories down, and I have tons of wonderful stories from people that I trust that are my family members and my good friends.
Wow, let's hear one of them.
Well, for instance, I sent you, Blake, I don't know if you remember this or not, but I sent you an audio recording that I interviewed my friend Bob. Now, Bob was the single person in Arizona who was the closest person ever to the Phoenix Lights. Now, he was
there on the ground. Okay.
Yeah, now Bob was on the South Mountain. He was there. He's a bicycle rider, and at night the mountain's closed. And he was riding up the mountain, because there's a couple of us that are bike riders in that area, and we go up the mountain when it's closed and stuff. It's no big deal. We just do it. We have night lights and everything. And Bob said he saw those lights going over the mountain, and it was he told the whole story. I've got it on audio, and I can send it to you again if you need me to. But he said he was so intrigued, he shot up that mountain so fast, as quickly as he could, and he got up to it. So he was by far the closest person to it, and he explained it just like everyone else, silent. And I asked him all the questions. Were the lights, blinking? Were they rotating? Was it a ship? Was it this or that? And I tried to debunk him with my interview of him, and it was so legitimate. It was unbelievable. And he said, he was there. He was close to it. But still, no one really knew for sure what was going on, but we've got it on film, and of course now we've got people like Bob and thousands others that saw it in Phoenix. So there's one good example.
Nice. That's pretty cool. Doug, that you reached out, and you're reaching out to people. 100% of the people that you asked, because you had this experience, next thing you know, you want to talk about UFOs. None of them thought you're crazy, and everybody really had some kind of story to say. Right?
That's I mean, really some people did not, but most everyone said, yeah, I saw something I can't explain, it was this weird thing. But even my sister and one of my brothers, they've seen lights that kind of shoot around and stuff. But a really good one was up near Dulce, New Mexico. There's an area called Archuleta Mesa, and it's all on the maps and everyone. My good friend was up there hunting, and he saw a light, at night shoot one way, and then he says it went 60 miles the other direction in 1 second and stopped, and then boom, shot off again somewhere else. So it's all, it's all true stuff, and these are legitimate stories that people tell.
Yeah, exactly. What could have possibly jumped 60 miles in 1 second? That we don't have any stuff like that. That's extraterrestrial tech, in my opinion. And I've seen that myself. Millions of people have seen this throughout the decade, at least, I'm sure. And when these people say these stories, they're not seeing things. They're practical. They tell their story in a form that makes a lot of sense. These people aren't making things up. Why would they make it up? They saw something that jumped 60 miles in a second. They saw this. What is it?
It's like, how do you explain that to me? You can't tell me it didn't happen. Blake, you can't tell me I didn't see what I saw. I promise you, I saw 7 things come over the mountain and stop all in a line.
Wow, that sounds that sounds awesome.
And of course, I want to debunk it myself. So I say, I'm going to see if it's ice crystals. I'm going to see if it was sun dogs. I'm going to see if it's, whatever kind of phenomenon, natural phenomenon. I'm willing to accept that if it could be explained, but I couldn't get it explained. But it sure did make sense that they were intelligent, and 3 of them stopped, and then 2 more, and then 2 more.
So it didn't seem like some random weather phenomenon known as ball lightning, per se.
Yeah,
a random deal.
Right.
This thing had some geometric, some kind of design of formation flight.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's kind of fun. What you're doing is exposing this to everybody. It's like, I believe, and man, I sure hope we hear from Chalice and F1 too, because I really enjoy what they have to say, and they help me to solidify my thoughts and everything, because you have to kind of look at the whole perspective. I'm not narrow-minded in my thinking. I'm very open-minded, and I like to hear what they have to say, and it's like, oh, that's cool, and then you just kind of go weigh it and check it out.
That's all, and it seems like they're just telling it just like you are, Doug. They're just as genuine as I believe 99% of the callers at the third phase of the moon seem very genuine.
Right.
And even if you tell me what you're telling me, it's up to me to believe it and everybody else to make up their own minds.
Yeah.
But, it's still like I can sense it. I can sense that you're not pulling my leg there, Doug. I know you saw something.
Okay. Blake, I got to tell you, if you have time, one more short story.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Quick. So this one guy that I met at the International Balloon Fiesta that's here, which is, if anybody ever needs to come to Albuquerque, this is the place to come, because for the Balloon Fiesta, it's absolutely fantastic. It's the #1 event that's photographed in the world. But this guy I met there who works there, he told me that he saw what looked like this really weird, and he was witnessed it by other people too. It looked like a city, and it came hovering over this lake we have out here, Elephant Butte Lake. And he said it seemed like it was drawing water out of the lake, and then after about 30 minutes, it started and just moved right over us and all this. And it's like, wow. So I wrote down all his testimony and everything and wrote it down and wrote a little paper about it. And then a year later, I was thinking about it, and I said, oh, you know what? Sometimes light reflects over long distances where there's clouds and stuff, and you can actually see the city, from a way far distance away, because if the moisture content is right and the clouds and the light bending. And I talked to him about that, and I said, hey, it must have been light bending. And I explained to him the scientific phenomena to him, and he said, Doug, absolutely not. You were wrong. What I saw was a floating city, and after it sucked up all this water, it went right over me, and we all watched it go over us, and then, boom, he said it took off 1,000 miles an hour or a second. He said it was gone, and they saw it disappear. So it's like, wow. So that's fun. That's fun stuff to hear.
That is amazing. That's insane.
Yeah.
Doug, we're going to take a break, and I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you a story, and we're going to take other callers from around the world about what their experiences are about a floating city over the Big Island. I'm going to get to that right after the break. It's quite a amazing story. Yeah, we'll be right
Blake,
back.
Let me know if you want me to send that audio recording of my friend that was on South Mountain in Phoenix again.
Of course, yeah. Send it. We want to hear it. Send it to my
I'll send it to you again.
Okay, guys. We'll be right back.
Hey, fantastic. Good luck with everything.
Thank you so much, Doug. That's quite incredible. That was just 30 minutes into Third Phase of Moon Live Radio, and people want to share. They want to share it now. Blake Cousins. We'll be right back.
third phase of the moon.
That's right. We're not alone, people. We are not alone. Let me get to the story real quickly. Big Island, 1998, Pulico. About 11 p.m. at night, 50 party goers, I would say. You know, there's a party on the Pulico coast. You know, the kegs were out, rock and roll band right there on the beach, nice place. Stars were all out. Right there on the ocean, a reflection started to shimmer. People looked up. Next thing, they all saw it. They all panicked. A massive floating city. The next day, we were out surfing, my brother and I. We weren't there. We didn't see it, but everybody was talking about it. It was the talk of the Big Island throughout the surf community to say that there was a massive floating UFO city-like object. Massive. Massive, as you would say. Nobody knew what it was. It shook them to the core. I talked to these people afterwards. Some of them my friends, and they couldn't explain what it was, except that it was a floating city. So that's my story from the Big Island of Hawaii reporting. It's kind of fun. And it's true, people. That's what's amazing. Okay, we're giving it a shout out to F1 or Chalice to call us up because they've been down. There's been no contact, and it's very unlike their characteristics to do that, and that's very strange. So F1 Chalice, if you're out there, call us up. All right. In the meanwhile, let's get to callers. Let's go to 443. You're live, Third Phase of Moon. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Good evening. How you guys doing?
I'm doing good tonight.
Good. This is the truth. Giving you guys a call from my Ricestown, Maryland.
Yeah. What? The truth?
Yes, sir. This is the truth, sir.
All right, truth. So, what kind of truth can you share with us tonight?
Well, I've actually been calling you guys off and on for the past 4 years. I've been dealing with Dr. J. Have you guys seen Dr. J? He's also missing.
Dr. J's off the grid?
I haven't heard from him, sir. Normally he stays in constant contact with me at least once every couple months. And I haven't heard from him.
Oh, he's doing okay. Go take a look at his YouTube channel. It's called Dr. J Live or Dr. Radio J Live. If you search up Dr. J Andy Elias on YouTube, his channel will come up. And he's broadcasting, doing his interviews.
Well, that's good. I'm glad he's busy. Yeah, I'm glad he's okay. I was wondering.
Yeah, he's doing all right. Check out his YouTube channel. Make contact with Dr. J. He's all good. Hey, thanks, Truth, for that's a good question because we want to clarify things when things are if people don't know what's going on. Dr. J's still going. Check out his channel. I'll put the link below on that one. All right. Glad we could clear that up. Let's get to another caller right now. Let's get to area code 270. You're live. Hello, 270. Are you there? Yep.
Are you here?
I hear you.
So a couple of weeks. Thanks for coming and letting me on your show. Let me just tell you a little bit about my quick background. So when I was young, I used to love sci-fi and all that stuff.
Yep.
One thing that I didn't realize is when I was younger, I used to have really crazy dreams that I could not explain. You know how your mom says, don't watch a creepy show when you go to bed, right? So this was when I was about 3. I went to bed, and then after that, I was like, I can't go to sleep. Then after that, I found out I got sick for a whole week. Could not figure it out. But other than that, what I'm going to top off the list of right here is there's 3 things I want to talk to you about. I don't know if you've talked about it. 1, the Denver airport. 2, possible conspiracies underground, and possibly finding out that I may know or may not know about certain craft.
Okay. Well, the Denver airport, yeah, let's get into that one because there's a lot of massive power generators above the airport that seem like it's way overkill for just a simple small airport going on over there, that there may be something going on underground. Yep, quickly, go ahead.
So here's some of the stuff that I've looked at is they have way too much runway. So what I've been hearing is a guy tried to attempt to go down the elevator or the stairs and couldn't because there's a security guard there. But I'm looking at one of the pictures right here for Denver International Airport. It says March 1994 is when they built it. But if you look in the corner, it says the time capsule beneath this stone contains messages and memorabilia to the people of Colorado in 2094, which I was reading that 2094, we aren't in that day yet. How could we even possibly put that on there? Something's going on, and it's got the Freemason pinned on there.
Yeah, they got a lot of weird artwork going on, symbolic artwork. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. Almost like apocalyptic, in your face.
Yes.
Strangeness. It's a strange place. Jesse Ventura did a special on it on his Conspiracy Theory channel, or his show that he had. And, they weren't too happy about that.
Well, I know they weren't too happy about it because all of today, if the government was to say, hey, there's people living out there that we know we have held, and there are people out there saying, hey, are we going to fight? Are we going to have a, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, kind of. Go ahead.
Well, we don't want people fighting other people.
No.
Just because if something came to me right now, like a being came to me, I would be like trying to communicate, saying, hey, I know you're here, but sit down and, look at all this technology on the computer, and this is what's happening today. And maybe they can communicate by computer because they're telepathic.
That makes a little sense. There's a lot of powers. There's a lot of powers out there that they're experimenting with, and I'm sure the alien telepathic communications that I've heard, they're trying to harness that, no doubt about it, and learn it.
Because today, look at it, we have the elections and all of this going on, and people are saying, oh, who's doing this, who's going to tell the truth? But the real fact is, I already know they're not going to tell the truth unless somebody goes up to either the White House or up to something like a whole group of people go and say, hey, we know the truth. We're not worried. We don't care what the problem is. But the more the truth, if they say the truth, they're going to come out and say, hey, this is what's going on. the reason why we don't want to panic you is because this is going on. I know for a fact, because all the searching I've done, like not real documents, but searching on the internet alone, I listen to Electronic Detective, and there's a lot of niche stuff, but the one thing that comes into mind when I go and search everything is it reliable? Is it truth? Is it all this?
It is. It's a big question. And, what is the truth out there? What are they trying to hide? What is the agenda? These are big questions that we need to find out. And hopefully we find out very, very soon. Appreciate that call in. We got a lot of calls in, so we got to get to them. So let's roll. Let's roll now. Let's go to area code 989. You're live, third phase of moon.
Hello?
Hello. Welcome to the show.
Hey, yeah, I had a question.
Sure.
Well, it's not really a question, it was just something that I've seen on YouTube. There's this video of it showed this UFO floating above this lake and some trees, and it showed the UFO sucking up water and some trees, and then it showed military men with an RPG and they shot it down. And what I don't get is why the government is still hiding stuff from us when we have already seen multiple stuff.
Well, yeah, good question. I don't think I've seen that video, and if it's out there, it might be. It sounds a little suspect. What do you think? Your gut reaction? Do you think it's real or is it CGI? Because those are the. If you trust your instinct on that, which we've been trying to do for the past few years, and be more diligent at looking at the videos coming in. And what's your gut feeling on that video?
I'm thinking it's real because
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was full on. There's no way you would be able to fake that because it was it looked exactly real. It was I'm trying to think. I think it was a different country's military, and it was one of those news type things that they do.
Yeah, they have a newsreel running, and they got talking heads on there. Seems like that's kind of legitimizes the video. What country did this come from? Just some foreign country in the Middle East somewhere?
Probably. I don't know what country it was, but it wasn't our country. But I know it was somewhere out off away from us. All
right. Well, okay. So what I'm going to do is ask the public to find that video for me. RPG shoots down UFO. Search that. If anybody could find that link, send it to me. That's area code 989. Appreciate that call in and the heads up maybe for something that might be quite interesting. And we'll see if we could obtain rights. That's always a big trick. If we don't have the permission, we really can't share it to the world. But if we're looking out for the people, we love the submissions that come in. So we'll see what happens. And if not, we'll just put it up on our Facebook. No big deal. Area code 435. You're live, third phase of moon.
Yeah, hey, I've listened to your show, I think your last live show, about the gentleman that was in Kentucky, the sheriff or the highway patrolman that was in Kentucky and saw the floating sphere.
Yep, amazing. And then his buddy saw it too, right? And then it shot up 80,000 feet into the air. Is that the one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. Yeah.
I wanted to call in because I've shared this story with a lot of friends and people that I've grown up with. I grew up in Elko County in Nevada, and I've seen 3 of those spheres, one each time on 3 separate occasions in about 1991 and 92.
Okay.
And I grew up on a ranch out there, And I know this sounds like a funny farmer story, but I was going out one night to milk the cows. We had milk cows. Wow. And I was walking up to the barn, and something caught the corner of my eye. And I looked up. I'm like, what the heck is that? And I looked up, and there was a green, like a neon green sphere, a ball, about 100 to 200 yards away from me. And my first thought was shock, not fear, but just startled, just surprised. And then my curiosity got to me, and my brain just said to me, go get it. So I dropped the milk bucket, and I just freaking beeline for that thing as fast as I could go. And I made it about 10, 15 feet, and it's floated up about a few feet off the ground, and there was absolutely no noise, no sound whatsoever. It floated up and stopped, and that startled me. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. And I stopped again and just watched it. And then the same thought came to me again, go get it. And I beelined for it as fast as I could go, and that thing shot straight up until it was out of sight, and it was fast, super fast. You know the video of the UFO over Jerusalem, that light sphere that just boom, and it shoots straight up?
Boom, yeah, I saw that. Yep, sure did.
The one over the Dome of the Rock, it just boom, and it shot up. Yeah.
Yep.
That fast. So within like a second, it was completely gone out of sight. And but there was no noise. It just shot out of sight that quick. No fire, no nothing, and it was just this beautiful green glow. And the cows and everything was in the field, and she was just sitting there chewing her cud. She didn't care. Didn't bother her at all. So that was the first one I saw. Then I kept. Go ahead. You're gonna ask me something.
Yeah, that's just the cow, man. The cow didn't have any reaction to it. It's just like whatever.
Yeah,
I'm more cut it away.
Yeah, she was just in there chewing grass, and she wasn't startled at all by it. And like I said, it was only probably between 100 and 150 maybe yards away from me. It's probably more like it. And I can't remember how much time there was between the other two that I saw, but the second one I saw was on the same occasion. I was going out to milk the cow, and I saw a green glow. This one was further away up on the mountain foothills, and it did the exact same thing. As soon as I saw it, boom, it shot straight up, and it was gone. The exact same thing, same color.
You know what it sounds like? They're like, this is what they're doing. They're like, here I am. I think we figured it out. They're playing their own game. They're like, hey, here I am. Check me out. Boom, see ya. And they're like, yeah, there you know. That's all you need, right? They just show themselves, and we've heard it so often. Wow, this is a great story. But you know what? Unfortunately, I got to bring it in because we're going to breaking news right now. I just want to, we got F1, I think, joining us. And dang it. Okay, that scared me. That scared me. What was that? All right, I'm going to bring on Betsy. Betsy, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, did you hear that? I'm going to bring in F1 again, but I also want to bring in I'm going to bring in Kelly. Kelly, you there? Hello, 619? Okay, weird stuff. Okay, let's try and bring in F1. Here we go. Somebody's got to shut their background feed. F1 needs to shut down his background. See what goes down here. And this is some strange alien stuff. Listen. I think that's what? I think that Brent, this is where Brent, do you hear this stuff? I think they're trying to mess with us. And F1's been off the grid for nobody's been able to talk to him for 2 weeks. We're going to try one more time. F1, if this is you, turn the background audio down. I don't know what's going on. We got to roll. I'm gonna gotta shut it down. Gotta shut it down. I got rid of the line. I cut it. Had to kill that because I don't know what's going on. That seems like a jam, an electronic jamming device, a radar. I don't know. A microwave blast of what I've heard before. Isn't that weird? We're F1 call back. Let's see if we could get this arranged, but something's being suppressed. We got 5 minutes, so let's go to another caller. Thanks for waiting. 719. You there?
Oh, hello.
Hello. Yes.
Good night. I just wanted to talk about my UFO experience.
Absolutely. We got about a few minutes left, so sorry. Yeah, I want to hear it. Go ahead.
I'll make it quick. Well, it was like a drive to Las Vegas, but we was passing El Paso, and out of nowhere, well, it was nighttime. It was around 3 a.m. or so. We was following the truck, and out of nowhere, it was getting all foggy. The truck out of nowhere just vanished. I was just chilling in the back. My mom was in the front. At this time, I was like 15 or so. So out of nowhere, like, it just got hot. Like, it got bright and hot. My mom was talking about, like, there was a spaceship. I'm like, a spaceship? You mean a UFO? Yeah. Then she was like, yeah, it was a UFO. So at that time, the truck we had, it didn't have a sunroof, so I couldn't see it. I could only see the light and how hot it was getting. And it was so close to the truck. Like, it just felt like, I don't know, man, it just felt like heat rays was all on the truck and stuff. But, like, when we passed it, you could see the UFO behind the truck. So it was, like, changing colors and stuff, but it was crazy. It was a crazy experience. It was, like, around El Paso. It was dark. There was, like, a graveyard. And it was crazy. It was crazy.
Can you recall the highway that you were on?
What was it? It was it's a main highway. Crap. Dang, I can't. It's like coming. It's like almost. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I've been through Vegas. I've been to Utah and all the way to Chicago, but I can't tell you all the roads that it takes to be there. But wow, that sounds incredibly insane. What do you think? Any idea what it was? One of ours or something?
Oh, it was a UFO. It was so close to the truck. Like, we was the only truck driving on the highway, and it was a UFO. The way it was shape shifting too, it was like a circle.
Do you think
but then it turned into a square?
Does the 180 come to mind? The highway, the 180.
180.
Yep.
180. Like, is it okay? Like, if you're going from Austin to El Paso, it's that highway, that main highway. I don't know the number, but yeah.
Well,
man.
This has been an amazing night, man, and I'm glad I got to your call so you could share that because we try to get to everybody, and I'm sorry I can't get to everybody tonight, but man, that sounded like an amazing experience, and I'm glad you got to see that and share it to the world right now.
Yes, sir. I wish I had a camera phone at that time, but man, it was a good experience. It wakes you up to you know that you're not alone in this world, and there's things being like the government is hiding so much things, and music. The hip hop artists ain't talking about this, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's really talking about this, you know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to keep it a secret because if the whole world knows, people might be going crazy and stuff, I guess. But, you know what I'm saying, they don't want us to know and stuff. They want us to be blind. So
they like that. They like us to be in the dark. Very short-term memory span. Let's concentrate on the iPhones and let's not concentrate on humanity. And
yes, sir.
And
you're right.
The hip hop world is waking up, and we have a lot of people that's in the hip hop world that submit their UFO videos and their beats, and that's quite amazing because they're open-minded. One of the best movies I've seen last year, and that I had to this year, that it reminded me of the true freedom of speech, and it reminded me of what Third Phase Moon is doing. And I think the hip hop world is recognizing this movie straight out of Compton.
That's the movie. That's the movie.
That's a movie, and it's all about freedom of speech. And back in the day, I was like, "Wow, this is heavy. Maybe they should suppress this dialogue." But wow, I was wrong when I was a little kid. This is freedom of speech is amazing. I'm gonna take
yes, sir. They trying to cut us. They trying to cut us from really talking the real. They want us to talk about gold chains and taking other women's other men's girls from them and stuff. You know what I mean? We gotta get back to the real stuff in hip hop. You know what I mean? I like Future. I like the beats and stuff, but we gotta start talking real, like Kendrick and J. Cole, and you know. So
that's right. That's right.
We're coming back. We're coming back.
We're coming to that. I was listening to some Hendrix today, a few songs, and I was glad to hear it while we're working on the third phase of Moon, the new studio that we're going to be relocating to. Everybody, you know what? Keep your eyes on the skies. This is an incredible show. We'll be back next week, Friday. And don't forget, third phase of Moon may call you anytime. Keep your eyes on the skies, everybody. Blake Cousins.
Third phase of Moon.